All right, good morning and welcome to our first video tutorial on the use of the Kogi State Internal Revenue Service Financial Management Information System for tertiary institutions in the state-owned tertiary institutions in the state, so to say. My name is Bashir. Broadcasting live from ICT Base Limited, Abuja. I'll be your anchor on this program, and I'll be taking you through all the functionalities embedded in this financial management information system. So basically, the system is designed to collect details of all transactions that are made across all state-owned tertiary institutions in Kogi State. With our plugin API that will plug into each school's portal, will be able to fetch this record onto this database, and from this database the board has access to all the payment records that they want across all the schools. I'm going to be very quick on this, and within the little time that I have allotted to this particular talk, I'll be seeing to it that I do the best to ensure that you understand the concept and we don't take too much time on it. Okay, so I'll begin first by introducing access levels. There are three access levels attached to this particular platform. By access level, I mean users that can access this platform. As you can see from the login here, it is not just anyone that has access to the platform. Only authorized users have access to the platform, and by authorized users, I mean someone that has the right access level. So the three access levels that we have is, we have the super admin access level, you have the admin access level, and you have the user access level. So the super admin has complete control over the settings of the website. The admin has some level of control over the platform, and the user too has very limited privileges and access to the functionalities that are provided by the platform. So in the course of this tutorial, we'll be seeing how these three people operate differently. Okay, so I'll be using three browsers. I'll be using Mozilla Firefox for the super admin, that you see his own functions from there. I'll be using this Google Chrome for the admin, and I'll be using Microsoft Edge for the user. So as I log in with the three parameters, the three access levels, you see how all of them operate differently. So I'll be logging first with the super admin access level. You see that instead of the conventional username and password way of logging in, we have decided to make login token based. The token is generated by the platform upon successful registration of any user. So once a user is registered on the platform, the system or platform will generate a user token for that particular user. It is with this token that the user can access the system. So anyone with the wrong token cannot access the system. The token is hashed with one of the best encrypting algorithm in the world to ensure that whoever is going to have access to this particular platform is doing so securely. And whatever information he is viewing them securely as well. Okay, so if I enter a wrong token, for instance something like this Kgirs, and I enter, it will tell me login failed, please try again, and return me back to the home page. Okay, so just like I said, I'll be starting with the super admin. I'll log in as the super admin. The system should log me in, mention my name, and redirect me to the dashboard. Primarily, this is how the dashboard looks like. It looks kind of plain, and depending on the time of the day that you log in, the system should greet you accordingly. The time now is 11:52. Okay, as from 12 o'clock, this particular greeting will change. That's about 8 minutes or so from now. I remind you, if we do not finish before that time runs out. Okay, it looks kind of plain, but over the next few days, hopefully, we'll be putting up shots here, okay, to ensure that you get a glimpse across all the schools. There should be a bar chart perhaps that tells you how much has been accrued, has been collected from a particular school over a period of time, over a period of year, and all of that. So we'll be putting a chart here in the coming days, but for now this is what you have here on the dashboard. But our emphasis mostly will be on the left pane here, where you see a list of menu and submenus that defines the functionalities that a super admin has access to. Okay, for us to understand this very well, I'll be logging in with the admin and user parameters as well, and then we'll be able to see how their functions differ. So I'll be logging here as the admin. Okay, login successful. That done. I will go here and log in as an ordinary user. Okay, and that done as well. So you see that the home page, the dashboard looks almost the same, but in the real sense they are really not the same. As we'll progress in the course of the tutorial, you'll see that though they look the same, that not everyone has the same access level. Okay, if you look at the super admin, for instance, you see only menu and a host of submenus on there. But for the admin, you see menu, you see IGR with submenus under each of the menu items. And you look at the user, you see almost the same thing that you see with the admin, but the user and the admin do not operate on the same level. Now, for us to explain this, for us to understand this further, what is the difference between an admin and a user? Since you all of them has menu, they have IGR, they have submenus under this, what's the difference between them? A super admin is the one who overlooks the entire activities of the website. That understood. And among the functions of the super admin includes managing of users. You can manage users. Super admin can manage users, manage schools, manage settings, and log out. Okay, while you look from here that an admin cannot do the same. On that menu, he has home and only logout. And then for IGR, which is internally generated revenue, you can query by day, query by week, query by month, query by year, and query by date. Query between dates, And for an ordinary user, you see almost the same thing. So somebody may want to ask of what is the difference, therefore, between an ordinary user and an admin. The main difference lies in what both of them can do. An admin, for instance, has access to all the schools, so he can view records across all the schools, but a user can view only the records of the particular school that he is registered under. So by extension, a super admin and an admin belongs to the board, but a user belongs to the school. Which means if you register someone on this platform as a user, that person can view only the records of his own school. But if you record someone as an admin on this platform, someone who works at the board, for instance, that person has access to all the schools. So the super admin is the only one that can do the registration. While doing the registration, he's at liberty to give whoever is registering the type of access level he wants. Okay, this is how it works basically. If I go here now as the super admin, I can manage users here. This will give me access to all the users that are currently registered on this platform, and I can update any of these records here. Okay, and I can add a new user. It is when adding a new user that I add the privilege of the user or the role of the user. You see here, you see privileges. This person is an admin, this person is a super admin, and this person is a user. So it is the privilege that you give them that will determine what they see. If I decide to add a new user now, for instance, I just have to fill the simple form, and at the tail end here, select the school. If it's a user, an ordinary user that I'm registering, I will select the person's user. But if I'm registering an admin or a super admin, I leave this place blank because they don't belong to a school, they belong to the board. Okay, that aside. Okay, and then here I select the role of the person. If you select the person as a super admin, you have given that person super admin privileges, and if you select admin, you have given the person admin privileges, and if you select user, you have subsequently given that person a user privilege. Okay, and I can remove a user from here just as I can edit the records of a particular user. If a user no longer works with the school, an admin no longer works with the board, or a super admin no longer works with the board, you can remove that person's detail. And once that is done, the person no longer has access to the systems, but every other record that the person viewed will still remain intact. Only that the person no longer has access to view any information. Okay, that's for a super admin. A super admin can equally manage schools. From here now you can see the list of all the schools that are registered, of all the schools that are registered here. a minute, I'm trying to view something. 265. Okay, so I was trying to look at how all of them operate differently. Now you see from here that you know, a super admin can equally add a new school to the platform. It is the schools that you add here that you can view their records for. So you can add a new school by just entering the school's name and entering the contact of the school, for instance. And you can edit the records of a particular school if you feel the information you entered for that school when you were doing the registration is not correct enough. So you can actually, you are at liberty to change that anytime that you want to. And you can equally remove the detail of the school from here. If you remove the detail of a school, that school's record will no longer be available for checking. You can no longer check or view the record of that school if you remove it permanently from this platform. Okay, and you see here the school ID. Each school here has a unique ID. While registering the school, it is not the super admin that enters the unique ID of the school. It is the system that generates it automatically. And then with these initials KGBIR, it will add any other 5 random numbers that the system will generate by itself. It is this that we will now use to recognize each of the schools. So any record that is sent with this particular school ID belongs to that particular school that has that ID. So through these, we'll be able to know which school is which. And there is no identical ID. All the IDs differs. Through these now, you'll be able to know particularly which school has this ID. And in the future, if the name of the school changes, you can just go to update, change the name of the school, but the school ID remains the same. So you still be able to view transactions even after the change of name of the school. Okay, the super admin can equally manage settings. By settings, I mean everything that the settings of this platform. You see the site title, site name, site title, school name, acronym, and the rest and all of that. It is what you put in here that will refer here. So if, for instance, I decide to remove this from here, for instance, okay, and I submit. A minute. Trying to fetch a Google file, I presume. So I was trying to check if I can set settings. If I remove Fmis from all of this and update the settings correctly, let me go back home. You'll see that things here have actually changed. Okay, so it used to be, you know, Kg, IRS, and then Fmis and all of that. Now it has changed because I've actually changed this. Okay, and this is the address of this particular place. So you can always change that from here, as it's only the super admin that has complete control over this particular place. So I'll still be including my Fmis, Financial Management Information System, and then I will update the settings accordingly. I think I like it that way, just the way it is. So I return back home now. You see that the changes have been effected. So those are the things that a super admin can do: manage users, manage schools, and manage settings. But when you move to the admin end, things change a bit drastically. You see that here the super admin cannot do any of the functions of cannot do any of the functions of the super admin. He can only go back home and log out from the menu, and from IGR he can query records of payment made by day, by week, by month, by year, and between dates. Previously we had up till per year, but after our discussion with Mr. Femi at Kogi State College of Education, he was of the opinion, he suggested that we add between dates, so that the board will query records of transactions made from a particular date to a particular date. The system should be able to retrieve records within that date range. So that's why we have actually added this. It's alright. If I decide to query by date, for instance, as an admin, I have to first of all select the school. So like I said, any school that is added by the super admin echoes here at the admin's end. It echoes here at the admin end. Okay, if for instance I go back as the super admin now to manage schools, and I'm coming. I'm trying to see if okay, manage schools. Okay, you see that particular school is gone now, and as it is, if I go back as the admin now to log in, there are 3 schools here, but if I reload the page, and I'm left with 2. So it is the schools that the super admin records at its end that the admin can see from here, and the admin, like I said, can view the records of all the school payments made across all the schools. But things will change a bit if I go here as an ordinary user and I want to query by date. It will just ask me to select date straight, which means a user who is institution based has access to the payment record of that particular school alone. You remember very well that when we are creating a new user, for instance, we select the school of the user if that user is an ordinary user. But for an admin and super admin, you don't select school for them, they belong to the board. Okay, if you select school here, when that particular user is viewing the records of payment, he can only view that of his own school. So this particular user, Okpanachi Sylvester, is from which school? Sylvester is from, okay, this is Kogi State College of Education. So if, for instance, he is the one logged in now and he selects the date, and the system does not just echo any date, it is only dates of transaction relevant to that school alone. So any date that appears here are dates that transactions have been made on for that school alone. So you just click here and submit, and only records of the payment made on that particular day, Thursday, 4th April 2009, from Kogi State College of Education, because the user, the ordinary user who is logged in, was registered under Kogi State College of Education. The system will give you, an outline of all the records, and then at the end give you a summary and group them all by payment items. Okay, but as the admin here, I cannot just go and select date just as a user here, because the admin has access to all the schools. So what the admin first have to do is to select the school that he wants to view. Then the system will ask him to select the date relevant to that school alone. He will just select the date and submit, and the system should echo out payments made on that particular day from the school that he has selected. Kogi State College of Health Science and Technology. If he had selected Kogi State College of Education, he will select the date relevant as well and submit. You see that what he sees from here is the same as what the user for that particular school will see. For instance, this is Kogi State College of Education, and this is payment made on Thursday, 4th April 2019, and a total of 110,000 was realized for school fees alone. So if an ordinary user goes back here and queries for that particular date, it is the same thing that he will see. So the main difference here is that the admin has access to all the schools. They can view payment records across all the schools, but an ordinary user can only view records of payment made for his school alone, or her school alone, as the case may be. All right. Likewise, an admin can view query by week. You first have to select the school, then select the week and the year. But as an ordinary user from here to query by week, just have to select the week straight, okay, and select year. Then he will submit, and the system will give him records of payment made for that week, and the week and year that echoes here are the only the weeks and year that is relevant to the school, as the case may be. So it should be able to give you records of payment made for that week and for that year. But the admin here has to first of all select the name of the school that he or she wishes to view records of, and then select the week and the year. So if I select Kogi State College of Education, it should echo only the weeks and year that are relevant to Kogi State College of Education, or the date, the week and year that payments have been made in. With 13, for instance, of 2019, should give me this 110,000. If I go here to the admin side, it should be the same thing with 13 of 2019, 110,000. Okay, I think this is self-explanatory enough. Okay, likewise, an admin and a user can view records of payment query by month. For a particular user for this school, he only has to select the month, let's say for April, and the year relevant to his school alone. But the admin from here to view by month will have to first select the school. Let's say this particular school. Then he can select the month and the year. Now you see that for Kogi State College of Education, only April and May are available. Okay, but if I select Kogi State College of Health Science and Technology, you see that you have April and May too. Okay, so that's kind of identical. All right, but for Kogi State College of Education, I can select April 2019 and view. It is what I see here that the okay. All right, a minute please. We will continue later.